This week's module was module 12 about internet safety. And I hope you're all having a good week. I'm kind of under the weather. Allergies, sickness is going around in my house, so bear with me. As a mother, I have 3 kids. My oldest is 9, and she is starting to explore the internet, and at school and at home. And as a parent, I am terrified because I know what is on the internet nowadays. You have a lot of negative people that like to hack into your Facebook account or try to do things that aren't appropriate. So, as a parent, it's my job to provide and educate my children about internet safety. And as a teacher, it is especially important to teach kids about internet safety because they need to know what potential dangers are out there, as well as researching for projects. They need to get the correct information from good sites that are resourceful and that are going to help them rather than provide inaccurate information. So when it comes to teaching internet safety, it is very important. I would really like to use one of these sites that I seen. I can't remember which one. One moment, let me look for it. That connectsafety.org site. I think it would have good resources for getting information about teaching internet safety to students, especially when students are getting on internet. At school, the school systems have set up, boundaries so students can't go to Facebook or things they're not supposed to. They're already, set up to protect the students and the school. But at home, a lot of parents do not do that. I, for one, I don't do that because I don't know how. But I think it's important as a parent to set those boundaries up for kids to keep them safe, but also to let them know that there are potential risks and dangers out there, even through the internet. You don't know who you're talking to, and you don't know what you're setting yourself out for. After doing the teaching digital citizen training, I think for me it was okay. It was very informative, provided a lot of information, some things I knew, some things I didn't know. I think it would be great to have as a resource to get yourself, as an educator, to get yourself knowledgeable about internet safety. But it would just depend on the person if this is what they would feel like. Well, I can learn some stuff about, oh, hey, this is what I need to do to be safe. This is how I should teach my kids. My students, about internet safety. It would be a great program, but it just depends on the educator and if it would be beneficial to them. It's just, it depends on the person. But for me, it was okay. It was very informative. In the last question, we were supposed to reflect on the main points on the article. Let me get that up because I want to make sure I have that article. I have things wrote down. Sometimes I forget to write things down, and I have to go back and skim through things that I remember reading just so I can talk about it. But one of the things the internet or this article talked about was cyberbullying, and in today's age, and I bless all these little kids' hearts because you go to school and you get bullied at school, but then you come home and you get online, you're just innocently talking to your friends, and you're already getting cyberbullied by maybe the same people, or maybe different people. It is very, it's very dangerous, and it's very scary to see that these kids are taking a new low, with bullying other children. As educators, we need to alert and teach and give our students skills to be able to handle, to cope, to reach out if this is happening to them, that they can reach out to the educator or their parents and say, hey, this is what's going on. How am I supposed to handle it? Through the internet, it's very hard because, they can make a new profile and get back at you. I've read so many cases about this, about young kids committing suicide because they're getting cyberbullied. And it's really an epidemic because the internet has become a very volatile place, and parents aren't taking this seriously, or educators, that cyberbullying is becoming a very real thing. It's just, we need to be more alert about these things. And the thing it says is about coping, giving, like, the strategy, coping and preventive strategies, is to always block our, the person who's doing this, block them, report them. I think, honestly, internet websites like Facebook or any other websites like that need to take it more seriously about how these kids are getting bullied, and when they report it in, take it seriously and do something about it instead of letting it slide. I understand it's hard to prevent this, but sorry, I have to start somewhere. And the article also says about, where work is needed. There is so much work that is needed to improve internet use for young children, for kids. And they don't know the demographic factors. What could be associated with cyberbullying. Another thing that is a big issue in this article states it is sexual solicitation. And you're going to see a lot of inappropriate pictures and comments that are made to young kids. You'll see a lot of young girls having very inappropriate comments from men or maybe other girls. It doesn't matter. It's very inappropriate. It's very scary because your kids are out there. It's important to alert our students who are on internet to be careful of what they put themselves out. Like I said previously, I do not like doing these YouTube videos. I just don't, because I put myself at risk. I put my family at risk because I'm showing my face to the world, and there's nothing I can get rid of. This is out there forever, and it makes me nervous. And there's a preventive solution is, for the unwanted sexual solicitation, is to encourage youth to block the solicitor or leave the online forum in which they are entered. And, even if they do that, it's still hard because they never know. They may come back on as a different person, and then they might track them down a different way. Like I said previously, internet usage is very dangerous. It's hard to monitor. It's hard to stop these attacks. There's more work that needs to be involved, and it's, as teachers and even as parents, is to alert our children, to teach them, okay, if this is happening, what steps can you take to keep yourself safe? We need to, as educators, to alert them to keep themselves safe. And it's very important as educators to be involved in the students. If the students come to you and say, hey, this is what's happening on the internet, I don't know what to do. We should be educated. We need to be trained to handle these situations, to help these students cope with what they're going through. And if anything, we need to always make sure they're prepared. And to learn, be careful with yourself. Be careful with what you put out there. Be careful to be alert and to know that sometimes some things we shouldn't be doing. Keep things, private. You want a private life? Don't put things on the internet for someone to change and to put yourself in harm's way. You know, we as educators, we have a really great role of educating students and teaching them and keeping them safe. As a parent, when I drop my kids off to school every day, I know my kids are safe because I know the teachers there care about my kids enough that they would protect them, even from internet dangers. I know that they have set up policies and guidelines, and they taught my kids and the other children there about what risks are out there, and they are able to keep them safe. And I believe that it's important as parents. Sorry about my husband. He's photobombing. Anyway, I believe it's important as parents and as educators to keep our kids safe. I hope you all have a good week, and this is my module for this week, and I'm sorry about my husband photobombing. Anyway, have a good week.